Welcome to DBHandmades. My name is Danielle, and today we're going to learn how to make a candy corn bee. So this video is actually not just focused on a pattern, but also focusing on how to make seamless color changes. I was able to just whip this little guy up this morning, and I thought he was pretty cute, and so I thought I'd share it with all of you guys since, you know, fall is coming up and we're all dreaming of cooler weather and Halloween, and I just thought a candy corn bee would be really cute to make. And so this is actually going to be my own design. I free-handed this, and I know that sometimes blanket yarn is a little hard to see the stitches, so I'm actually going to be using cotton, 100% cotton yarn, so that you guys can see the stitches a lot better when I'm making the video, and that you can follow along easier, so you can make a little bee just like this guy. Before we begin, I just want to let you know that I have affiliate links in the description box below. If you would like to support my channel, feel free to use the links for all of your yarny and crochet needs, but no pressure, they're just there for you as a resource. Now let's go ahead and start making our candy corn bee. These are the yarns that I'm going to be using today. If you would like to make the floofy version of the candy corn bee, I used Bernat blanket yarn with a 6mm crochet hook. For the Bernat blanket yarn, you can use yellow. I used off-white and then burnt orange, and then I used white for the wings, and then black for the stripes and the eyes and smile. If you would like to make a smaller version of the bee, I am going to be using Hobie's Rainbow Cotton, which is a light worsted or DK weighted yarn in the colors yellow, white, orange, and then also Hobby Lobby's I Love This Cotton black. And I'm going to use a 3.25mm crochet hook or size D. My favorite crochet hooks are the Clover Amours. You're also going to need a stitch marker, some scissors, embroidery and tapestry needles. You're going to need some polyester filling. So I believe that that is it. Let's go ahead and start making our candy corn bee. First off, we're going to make a magic circle. We're gonna work from the head to the butt. And we're gonna start off with the color yellow. So for a magic circle, we're gonna chain 2 and do 6 single crochets into the second chain from the hook. And one note here that I want to mention is that we're going to be using the yarn under technique. This will cause your stitches to look and actually be a little tighter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then slip stitch into the first stitch and chain 1. Now make sure you use your handy dandy stitch marker and put it in your last stitch of every round. Round 2 will be chain 1, and increasing single crochet all the way around until you have a total of 12 stitches. Number 3, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet into the first stitch, followed by an increasing single crochet in the second stitch. Repeat the sequence of single crochet followed by a increasing single crochet 5 more times for a total of 18 stitches all the way around, and then make sure to do a slip stitch in the first stitch. Now for the next 3 rows, we're going to do chain 1 and then single crochet into the first stitch, and then single crochet into the rest of the stitches all the way around for a total of 18 stitches, followed by a slip stitch into the first stitch. It is time for our first color change. So we just completed our 3 rows of single crochets, and so in order to do a seamless color change, we're going to undo our last slip stitch and single crochet. So how I'm going to do this color change is, okay, I'm going to act like I'm doing a single crochet here. And instead of yarning under or over and pulling through, I'm actually going to put the new yarn on my hook and pull through the loops. And then I'm going to do a slip stitch with the black yarn. And there's your color change. That's it. Now we're going to do chain 1 and do a single crochet into the first stitch, do 17 more single crochets all the way around for a total of 18 stitches, followed by a slip stitch into the first stitch. Okay, so I'm about to finish off my row of black yarn. I'm doing my last single crochet, and here we're about to do our second color change. And again, instead of yarning over under our black yarn and pulling through, we're going to put the new yarn on our hook and pull that through, and then slip stitch with that new yarn. Now we're ready for the next 3 rows of single crochets with our white yarn. About to make our third color change with the black yarn. We already have it here because I did not cut it off, and I'm gonna loop that through and then do a slip stitch with the black yarn and do 1 more row of single crochets all the way around with our black yarn. Now we're going to do our last color change from the black to the orange yarn. Again, before we finish off our last single crochet of the round, we're going to put our new color yarn on the hook and pull through to complete that single crochet. And then we're going to slip stitch. And then do a 2 rows of single crochets all the way around for a total of 18 stitches again with your orange yarn. And before I continue, I'm actually going to cut my yarn so that I can tie those off before I close up my yarn, or before I close up the bee. Now we're going to start decreasing our bee. So chain 1, single crochet into the first stitch, and then decreasing single crochet into the second and third stitches. Repeat the pattern of single crochet and decreasing single crochet 5 more times all the way around until you have a total of 12 stitches. And then make sure that you slip stitch into the first stitch. Make sure to stuff your bee nice and firm before you close off the loop. We're on to the last and final row. How exciting! So we're going to do a chain 1 and then do a decreasing single crochet in the first and second stitches. Now do 5 more decreasing single crochets all the way around for a total of 6 stitches, and then do a slip stitch into the first stitch. I'm going to show you how I close off the loop for my amigurumis. So I cut off a semi-long tail. So I take my hook, I'm skipping the first stitch, and I'm going to the second stitch. And I'm pulling through the strand, and don't pull too tightly because we want to make sure that this loop is still intact. Then we take this yarn strand and then I feed it through the opposite way. So I feed it inward toward the circle, or toward our little hole here. And then we take our little yarn end again and put it through the loop. And then we pull nice and tightly. And that is how I close off my amigurumis. I think it looks pretty decent. We will weave in our ends later. We have made the bee's body. This is what it looks like so far, with the head being on the yellow side, being a little bit bigger than the orange, but and yes, I know what it possibly looks like. We're not done, okay? I just can't unsee it now. Next, we're going to work on the eyes and the smile. So to make the eyes, I've already made one. So we're going to have the black yarn again. We're going to chain 3 and do a single crochet into the first chain from the hook, and then do 3 single crochets into the second chain from the hook. And then turn our work to the other side of the chain. And then we're going to go back to our first chain and do a slip stitch. And that is our eye. I'm going to cut a long tail for sewing and pull our yarn through. And now we have 2 eyes. There we go. And then we're going to put them on our bee's face. All right, now it's time to get your embroidery, your tapestry needle out, because we're going to sew on the eyes. Okay, so we've done our eyes. Now with my leftover black yarn, I am going to sew a smile onto the bee's face. It's a cute little smile, a little smirk, more so. And now we're going to move on to the wings. How exciting, we're almost done. We're going to do our slip knot, and I'm actually going to have a lot longer of yarn here than I normally do when I have a slip knot. So we're going to do chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do a single crochet, do a half double crochet in the second stitch, and then a double crochet into the second stitch as well. Then do a half double crochet into the third stitch, then do 2 single crochets into the last chain and turn. and do a half double crochet in the next stitch, do a double crochet into the next stitch, then a half double crochet in that same stitch, and then do a slip stitch into that original chain. And that is your first wing. Do chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do a single crochet, half double crochet, followed by a double crochet into the same stitch. So we're essentially just repeating what we did on the other side. And then a half double crochet, followed by 2 single crochets, then turn. Then do a half double crochet in the next stitch. Then do a double crochet and then a half double crochet in the next stitch. Do a slip stitch into that first single crochet. And there you've got wings. How exciting! Look at that. I now present to you both candy corn bees. They're very cute. So this is what this one looks like, and then this is what this one looks like. I think it's really cute. Which one do you guys prefer? Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me with crocheting the candy corn bees. If you really liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you loved my yarny shenanigans when crocheting the candy corn bee, go ahead and subscribe. And until next time, stay safe, happy, and healthy, and have a great day. Bye!